Tonight on News 30, a New Jersey train crash kills one.
And an abortion clinic opens in Oklahoma. Stay tuned. Welcome to this week's News 30. I'm Hannah Lounsbury.
And I'm Alyssa Sparazza.
Tragic news coming out of New Jersey as New Jersey Transit train number 1614 crashed into Hoboken Station during the rush hour commute, killing at least one person and injuring more than 100 others. Reports suggest the crash was caused by operator error. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating the accident.
And this week's presidential debate still has plenty of people talking. The debate, which aired on Monday night, featured the Republican candidate Donald Trump as well as Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton, with third-party candidate Gary Johnson not appearing on the platform. Now, that is confirmed that Johnson will be on the ballot in all 50 states. It is unclear, though, to many people why he was not welcome to the debate if he will be included in the ballots. People are wondering if he'll be included in future debates between now and the election in November. As of now, though, the Commission of Presidential Debates has stated that to enter the debate, a candidate must be polling above 15%. Well, it's not impossible Johnson would have to make a fairly substantial jump in the polls to meet this requirement before the next big debate.
Almost a year after the tragedy at the Oklahoma State Homecoming Parade, prosecutors could have more than 200 witnesses on the case. Victims, first responders, detectives, and spectators are on the list of the 207 potential witnesses in the case against Adacia Chambers. Chambers' trial is set to begin on January 10th. News 30 will keep you updated.
A new public safety bill was signed into law by Governor Mary Fallin on September 8th. Senate Bill 1214 will allow jurors to find a criminal both insane and guilty of a crime. The bill was inspired by a Pottawatomie County homicide case. Gennaro Sanchez, an 18-year-old East Central University student, was murdered in 2012 near Asher. The suspect, Jared Murray, was not found guilty by reason of insanity in 2015. The bill was sent to the governor for approval back in May after universal approval by the Senate to create a new defense for those who suffer from mental illnesses. The new law will go into effect on November 1st of this year.
Without a doubt, the November ballot could become one of the most memorable in state history, with questions being raised on issues like medical marijuana, alcohol, education, and even execution. There's a lot of controversy and confusion. Possibly the most confusion is surrounding question 776, also known as the death penalty bill. The question, if passed, will add provisions to the state constitution that are meant to protect the use of corporal punishment and allow legislation to approve any method of execution that is not prohibited by the national constitution. Supporters of the bill hope that this will help end the hold that was put on executions in October of last year due to the controversy over the procedures being used.
For the first time in 40 years, an abortion clinic opens in Oklahoma. The opening is not without controversy, though, as Oklahoma is one of the 18 states that are considered hostile towards abortion. The Trust Women Southwind Women's Center has 6 licensed physicians who are also providing OB/GYN care, family planning, adoption, emergency contraception, as well as abortions. Before the clinic opened, Oklahoma City was the largest metropolitan area in the United States without an abortion provider. The only other abortion providers in the state are in Norman and Tulsa.
When we come back, an Oklahoma town turns 125. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to News 30. The town of Tecumseh celebrated its 125th birthday, Saturday, September 17th. The celebration was called Frontier Days 2016. The theme was Mapping Our History. It was sponsored by Tecumseh Together. Frontier Days is held on the 3rd weekend of every September to celebrate the town's birthday. Citizens and local businesses both took part in this year's celebration. The day began with a traditional pancake breakfast and a parade led by Grand Marshal Governor Mary Fallin. After the parade, gospel singer Sammy Mitchell performed. Contests were planned for the day, as well as a carnival that operated from noon till 10 p.m.
This year's annual Santa Fe Homecoming event will be a day full of fun for the family. The event will be taking place this Saturday, October 1st. The day will begin at 8 a.m. at the Shawnee Municipal Airport. From 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. there will be aerial shows as well as a biscuits and gravy breakfast served by the local Lions Club. After this, the festivities move over to the Santa Fe Depot Museum in downtown Shawnee. The museum is located at 614 East Main Street and will have demonstrations of what day-to-day life was like in early Shawnee, as well as having their normal displays and a newly expanded train display. Attractions will include narrated presentations about historic buildings around town, an A-OK train engine at the museum, and a homemade pie auction at 3:30. The event will be going on until around 7 p.m. that evening.
And if you're looking for some fun this week, look no further. The Tulsa State Fair opened today, featuring dozens of rides, both big and small. The 11-day fair will also feature culinary attractions such as a wine garden and cooking demonstrations. Stage productions include Disney on Ice and educational programs like Summer Reading Program. Times and ticket options can be found online at www.tulsastatefair.com.
This Saturday, the Pottawatomie County Sheriff's Office will be hosting a fundraiser at Daylight Donuts on Wallet Street in Tecumseh. The fundraiser will help send special needs children to the Special Olympics in Stillwater this year. Anyone wishing to make a donation can attend the event between 7 and 11 a.m. For more information, you can call or email Deputy James Caskey at 405-273-1727 or check out potcoso.com.
And as we roll into the month of October, people are beginning to set their eyes on Halloween and the spooky events that come with it. This year's citywide trick-or-treat will be on Halloween itself. Seminole and Tecumseh will also be having their citywide trick-or-treat on the 31st from 7 to 9 p.m., assuming that the weather allows it. And this year's annual Boo-on Bell celebration will be on October 20th through 22nd. Activities each day will start at 6 p.m. during the week and 10 a.m. on Saturday, with events going on throughout the whole day on the 22nd.
Tickets are now on sale for the Red Hot Chili Peppers concert. The Rockers will be performing at the Bank of Oklahoma Center in Tulsa on Saturday, January 14th at 7 p.m. They'll be singing Grammy-winning hits such as Give It Away and Scar Tissue. You can buy tickets online now.
And after the break, see if the fall weather has permanently moved in. Stay tuned.
Back. Let's see how this week's weather is looking with Jake Nelson.
Thanks, Hannah. Well, we've been experiencing temperature whiplash these last few days, with temperatures starting off in the cool, chilly in the mornings, then leading up to hot and humid conditions in the afternoon. And we are expecting this trend to continue into the next couple of days. Couldn't ask for a better current condition than right now. Sunny and 68 right now here in Shawnee. The highs for today match the perfect conditions we've been waiting for. Highs of 73 for McLeod, Okemah, Holdenville. Places like Tulsa and Seminole hitting 74. Overall, just perfect outdoor weather. Lows for Shawnee looking to be around the high 40s to low 50s tonight. 48 in Tecumseh, 48 in Seminole, Purcell, and Holdenville. 51 for the low in places like Tulsa and Oklahoma City metro area. Moving ahead to your weekend forecast, no other way to describe it other than just near perfect. Highs of 76 for tomorrow. Skies partly cloudy, winds out of the south around 10 miles per hour. Lows dropping into the low 50s for Friday night. Then Saturday looking at a high of 77 with partly cloudy skies, winds at 10 miles per hour. Then wrapping up your weekend with highs in the lower 80s for Sunday, again with partly cloudy skies and low wind speeds. And then looking towards next week, that low 80s temperature trend stays with us, but we do throw a few scattered showers in the mix around Tuesday and Wednesday. Lows for the next week remain in the 50s to 60s range, but overall it looks like we've reached the beginning of that cool fall weather we've all hoped for. I'm Jake Nelson, and now you're up to date with News 30's latest weather forecast. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Jake. After the break, Dakota Carrington has this week's sports update.
Welcome back. Here's Dakota Carrington with this week's sports.
Mike Gundy and his Oklahoma State Cowboys took the 5-hour bus ride to Baylor this past weekend with the high hopes of upsetting the Bears. Unfortunately, that was not the case when the Bears beat the Cowboys 35-24. Looking at statistics, one would think the Cowboys would have won the game. The Cowboys held the ball for a total of 41 minutes with 492 all-purpose yards and outstanding 30 first downs. All good things, right? But I left out one very important stat: turnovers. The Cowboys turned the ball over a depressing 4 times against Baylor. 3 of those turnovers were caused by fumbles, with 2 fumbles being credited to running back Jason Hill and 1 by quarterback Mason Rudolph. Rudolph also threw an interception. 2 of those fumbles resulted in a Baylor touchdown. This week, the Cowboys welcome Charlie Strong and the Texas Longhorns to Stillwater with an 11 o'clock kickoff. The Oklahoma Sooners will be on the road this week in hopes of finding their second win of the year against the Horned Frogs of TCU. Ranked 21st in the nation, TCU should give us an evenly matched up game with the potential of this becoming a high-scoring one. The Sooners are favored to win this week. However, my gut tells me that the Sooners will fall to 1-3 on the season this weekend. The hopes for Big 12 expansion could be withering away. 18 months ago, it looked possible for the Big 12 to expand by 2, possibly even 4 teams. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, President David Bourne of Oklahoma, who is a big decision maker in the process, stated that the expansion was not a sure thing. Last year, he was reported saying that the teams had a psychological disadvantage by having only 10 teams in the conference. Now Bourne is saying that he and the University of Oklahoma have not yet taken a stance on whether or not they are for expansion. Personally, I think it would be an amazing idea to expand the Big 12. For starters, we're called the Big 12 with only 10 teams. It just doesn't seem fit. There are plenty of teams in the country that I believe would be a perfect fit for the Big 12. Teams like the University of Louisville, the University of Cincinnati, and even Clemson would be a nice fit. If it were my choice, I would add the University of Houston. Come football and basketball season, these teams could make things a whole lot more interesting in the Big 12. In the world of fantasy football, time is running out to submit your rosters for week 4 of NFL action. If you're anything like me, you have no idea on who you should bench and who you should start this week. Maybe your star player is out with an injury and you're absolutely lost on how to replace him. Maybe you think your season is ruined. Well, here at News 30, we're determined to turn that frown upside down. Here are some of the players looking to make things happen this week, and those who should not be stepping off the bus. My pick for wide receiver this week is Devontae Parker from the Miami Dolphins. Parker has been on my radar since he started playing week 2. He impressed in his season debut against the Patriots with 106 yards on 8 catches. The thing that piqued my interest the most was he was targeted 13 times, which means he's going to get a ton of opportunities in the coming weeks. The receiver that I think has no business stepping off the bus this week is Victor Cruz of the Giants. The Giants are playing the Vikings this week, and though they still don't have Adrian Peterson, they do have a killer passing defense. That means they're going to shut down either Cruz or Odell. So both of them could stand out for this week or sit. Personally, I think Victor Cruz can go ahead and salsa all the way back to New York because I will be benching him this week.
Thanks, Dakota. The future of marine exploration is drawing near. Graham Hawkes, founder of Deep Flight Submarines, is working on developing a personal submarine that'll soon be on the market. The amazing thing about this sub is that everyone will be able to drive it, even me and Alyssa.
I don't know if I'll be able to drive it, but it will include safety features that should help to prevent unexpected problems, and when you're ready to float to the top, you simply turn it off. Hawkes says he wants to build a machine that will allow everyone to explore the world that they live in. And that's all we have for you this week. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to catch up with us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook at Shawnee News 30.
Go enjoy that fall weather and have a great night.